Hello, my name is YvonneHickman, and I'm here today to talk about my situation in Glynn County. I was arrested on December the 3rd,
What
2000,
state is that, Miss Hickman?
state of Georgia, Glynn County, Brunswick, city limits.
All right.
I'm here to talk about my arrest on December 3rd, 2009. I was kidnapped from my car going to Walmart in Brunswick. I was told by the police officer that I had been involved in a hit and run accident that involved my post-traumatic stress disorder, permanently incompetent husband designated by the VA. So I explained to the police that I had not hit my husband, that he was sick and he was delusional. I was arrested and spent the night in jail, and I was released on December the 4th, 2009 by Judge Morgan and told not to ever come home again and that I had to find my someplace to live. Therefore, on December the 4th, 2009, I was rendered homeless with nothing but the clothes on my back. I was released from jail on my own recognizances. On December the 7th, 2009, I hired Jason Clark to take care of these legal issues that I'm innocent of. He failed to do it. To this day, I have yet to go before a court to prove my innocence to this minute. On December 8th, I was in Brunswick, Georgia, meeting with an attorney, probate, to get my husband the help that he really needs. I was arrested a block from my house. Well, actually, I was arrested next door at a vacant lot from my house. And I was arrested because my husband had picked up the phone again and said that I had hit him with a car. At this moment, I spent 2 weeks in jail.
Why were you at the vacant lot?
I had met with a lawyer by the name of Wallace Harold III, a probate lawyer, and my position was to have Mr. Harold to petition the probate court for my husband to go into permanent treatment for his conditions and to mandate that he take medicine for his problem. My husband was committed to behavioral health in 2008 by me through a court order, and he was doing fine, but he relapsed, and I needed a court order from a reasonable attorney designated by the VA that I should be doing this. And that was my purpose on July 8th, meeting with an attorney to get my husband the help that he needed. And subsequently, I was arrested and stayed in jail for 2 straight weeks.
Now, the thing is that you had possessions in the house, because when you had to leave, you had to leave everything you owned, because the judge, when you supposedly hit your husband with a car, which never happened, it was just a hallucination of his. When that happened, the judge told you could never go back home, right?
Yes.
And that happened all around December
4th, 2009.
2009. And so you had made arrangements with the court that you could go to your ex-home, because they really have separated you from your husband and your home. You could go back there and pick up some things, but you had to call the police to be there at the scene when you pick up things from your house. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So you were sitting there waiting at the vacant lot near your home, waiting for the police that you had called to meet you there. And the police came, and instead of meeting you to pick up your things, they arrested you?
Yes, and when I had a court order in hand, on May 28th, 2010, I complained to Judge Morgan that I had not been home since December 4th, 2009, and that I needed to get things out of my house, that I was homeless without clothing, proper clothing. And I was awarded a court order. And the court order said that I could come to the house with the police escort and get things out. And while I was waiting for the police to show up, I was arrested again.
And this time, your husband said that you had run over him again with a car.
Yes, and he also told the police at that time, standing up talking to them, that he did not know who I was, that I was his ex-wife, excuse me, and that he had divorced me in the newspaper. I showed the police at that time.
So even with him talking delusional like that, did he have any scratches on him? Did he have any torn clothes or anything that looked like this man had been run over?
No, never have.
But they just took his word for it that you had come to the house where you and he lived together and had again run over him.
Yes.
These are his thoughts.
Yes.
And you don't really blame him because you know his condition.
Absolutely.
But you found it surprising, don't you, that the authorities would actually arrest a family member because of the hallucinations of a man who's declared 100% disabled, mentally dysfunctional PTSD vet from Vietnam.
Yes.
Let me ask you something. This started happening, and when they picked you up that time, you went to jail, and they didn't just keep you overnight, did they?
No, ma'am.
How long were you there?
Over 2 weeks.
My goodness.
Sleeping on the floor under a metal table.
My goodness. And while you were there, you met other women.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And what happened with that?
I met several women, at least 4 women. One particular woman, and I won't call her name, she was there for traffic tickets. And she had been in jail for 3 months. And when I met her, she told me what her story was. I put together a grievance for her to tell her story to the sheriff. She wrote it out. I helped her. Excuse me. She signed the grievance. Within 24 hours, she was out of jail.
Praise God.
And she was not the only one. It was about 4 of those women that were released because I helped them prove to the sheriff at that time that they were in jail for no reason.
Right. So now, do you think that perhaps part of the reason why you've been treated so badly is because you, while you were in jail, and you are a woman who has a level of education that's above the people you were in jail with, while you were there, instead of just sulking and feeling sorry for yourself, you set out to help people. Do you think that the fact that you helped these women to escape wrongful incarceration has anything to do with the way you're treated now?
Absolutely.
You told me they're building a new jail.
Yes, ma'am, they are.
And all of that costs money.
Yes, it does.
And so tell me about what you're going through now. You're having to pay money for supervision through Sentinel, is that right?
Yes, what has happened is that I was railroaded by my attorney. I hired a defense attorney based upon the things that happened to me in December of 2009. I hired a defense attorney by the name of Jason Clark in Brunswick, and he was told the situations of what had happened to me. Jason Clark personally railroaded me into Sentinel Probation Services, and to this day I have yet to be found guilty of anything because I'm innocent. I have yet to go to court. I have yet to be convicted of anything. I have yet to be assessed financially to even find out whether or not I'm capable of paying $35 a month. In the meantime, the magistrate court assigned my husband a legal aid person, and my husband gets over $3,000 a month through VA and Social Security payments, but the VA, the magistrate court in Glynn County assigned my husband a legal aid attorney, and that legal aid attorney advised my husband to take my personal items that he wanted me to have out of the house, and they put them in storage in September 2010, and they put these things in storage in my husband's name. I have had to pay storage $55 a month since September 2010, and I am not allowed to go into Brunswick to clean the storage out or to ascertain what I have there.
Wait. Now you're not able to go to Brunswick at all? Are you saying you're banned?
I am banned from the county of Glynn, and I'm never to set foot in Glynn County ever.
My goodness. I can't believe it. This is like, it's almost like Forsyth County. Are you familiar with that case?
Yes, ma'am, I am. I read about it. I understand that during 1912 that whites shot up black people. I think during that time it was the residents of color were about 1,000, and I believe that within months that the population of the black or like less than 30. So I'm well aware of it, and I do believe that that's exactly what's happening in Glynn County, that they are perpetrating Forsyth County's massacre of black people because they are cleansing people of color. And what I found out in my incarceration in Glynn County, that the majority of the women in the Glynn County Detention Center are women who are illiterate.
Illiterate?
Absolutely illiterate and mental illness.
Oh my goodness. And you helped them. Let me start a new tape.